What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I stay in shape and how I don't gain weight over the road. I'm going to be talking about my diet as a truck driver. I'm going to talk about my exercise routine as a truck driver. And why am I making this video? Because I truly do believe that this is a huge epidemic. Obesity, diabetes, just unhealthy living is a huge epidemic in the trucking industry. And I'm going to get into why I think that is. I also don't just think, though, that it's just truck drivers that struggle with health. It's just Americans in general. And I'm going to kind of get into how that correlates with when you become a truck driver, how it doesn't really matter whether you're a truck driver or not. It's really just simple habits and behaviors that will determine your health, no matter whether you're a truck driver or not. And I know that a lot of people watching this, the health aspect of trucking is what deters them from becoming a truck driver. And again, like I said, I'm gonna talk about that and how that should not deter you from becoming a truck driver. You absolutely don't need to lose or have to lose your health out here. As a matter of fact, you can be healthier as a truck driver than you've ever been in your life. Again, it's just a matter of choices at the end of the day. So I'm going to get right into that. I'm making this video because I've been asked to make this video for quite some time. And so what I'm going to do, though, is I'm not going to talk to you as if I'm a personal trainer or a nutritionist or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you what I do and just some basic common sense stuff that I think could work for everybody. Now, what you decide to do is up to you. I'll give you a few different diet plans that I think are pretty good, diets that people do that I think are pretty good and will work out here on the road 100%. And I can definitely talk about this because, before I got into trucking, I was an athlete. I played football in high school, hockey was my main sport, played baseball, basketball, every sport. I was an athlete. And so when I got into trucking, and I worked out all the time, I still do. When I got into trucking, I told myself, look, if you get into trucking and you start putting on a bunch of weight and you start declining in health, you're getting off the road. You're at least going to go do local or regional. And so that was the promise I made to myself, that I absolutely would not lose my health out here on the road. And what did I have to do? All I had to do was carry over my exercise habits. So that's the first thing. Before dieting, they're both important. They're both equally important. But the first thing is, if you're somebody getting into trucking and you're used to going to the gym all the time and working out and exercising, you can still do that as a truck driver. Now, do you have to be more creative? Absolutely you do, 100%. I do personally have a gym membership to Planet Fitness, and you need to get the Black Card Planet Fitness gym membership. Why is that? Why Planet Fitness? Well, because Planet Fitness is very truck driver friendly. If you're living out here over the road, you can get into most Planet Fitnesses out here have enough room for you to park. They don't mind that you park there. And to me, it's just, and there's a lot of them. There's tons of them. If you're in most small towns, most towns in general, there's going to be at least one Planet Fitness or maybe even a few Planet Fitnesses there. And again, like I said, they're very easy to get into and get out of with the big vehicle you're driving, and they allow you to park there. As long as you ask them, like, hey, where do I park? Where's a good spot? They'll allow you to do that. So that's first thing. Get a membership to a gym that you can use out here on the road. I like Planet Fitness. They have everything I need. And again, like I said, they're very friendly to truck drivers. So that's number one, get a membership. But I know you're going to say, well, it's not always easy to get into a gym as a truck driver. And you're absolutely correct. It's not always easy to get into a gym, that's for sure. I'm only able to get into a gym probably once a week, maybe, out here on the road. But that's okay. What do I do if I can't get into a gym? Well, I will do body weight exercises. I do a lot of calisthenics. I do every other day, I try to do a full body workout body weight. And you can bring weights too out here on the road. A lot of truck drivers, I've seen them working out. They have a mat, they lay it down outside, they're doing push-ups, they're doing curls, they're doing squats, and they have a whole weight set. That's what you can do. Just get creative. If you can't make it to a gym, buy some weights, buy a mat that you can get out and again, do push-ups and all that stuff that I'm talking about. You can do that. Just get creative. And then another thing I like to do is if I'm at like a terminal or I'm at a truck stop and there's a nice area for me to run, I will run outside and then I'll do my full body weight exercise. I try to work out at least every other day on the road. So if I can't make it to a gym, I'll at least do like a body weight exercise, like push-ups, squat jumps, planks to work on my abs, all that stuff. That's what I'll do at least every other day. And then I try to do long distance running about 2 to 3 times a week. If I go to a Planet Fitness, I hit the treadmill and I do 4 and 5 miles on the treadmill and a full body workout because I got everything at the gym. And if I'm doing running outside, or like if I'm at a terminal, that's one of the best places to do it is at a terminal. I'll run the perimeter of the terminal and I'll do 3-4 miles around the perimeter. And then when I'm done running, I will do my push-ups and squats and all that stuff. But again, you just have to get creative. Like I said, and if you're somebody that's at a small company, well, when you're at a truck stop, if it's not too busy, lay your mat down, do your push-ups, do your weights, all of that stuff. That is what you can do to just exercise. I know that seems like hard to do. You're trying to figure that out, and that's who this video is for. You want to figure out, hey, how can I work out? How can I still stay active while I'm out here on the road? It's very easy. It's very easy to do it. Again, you just have to get creative. That's all that is for the exercise. So that's what I do. I try to work out every other day, whether it's just a body weight exercise, push-ups, squats, planks, whatever. And then, I try to get in at least 2 days a week where I do long distance cardio. And it's that simple. And then when I'm home off the road, I go to the gym pretty much every day when I'm home, and I hit it pretty hard when I'm at home. Again, while I'm on the road, that's what I do for exercise. And that's what I would recommend all of you do, 100%. And if you're not somebody that is used to working out, but you want to lose weight, you want to get in shape, you can do what I'm saying. Just start slow. You don't have to do crazy workouts starting out. If you want to just start losing weight, all you got to do is walk. Just every other day, get out of your truck and walk 30 minutes. Walk a couple miles, walk 30 minutes, and then slowly but surely increase the intensity of those workouts, and you will see progress, especially when you do the dieting that I'm going to talk about. So what do I do? That's it for the working out. That's how I do that. What do I do for dieting? Me personally, I am on a carnivore diet. I used to do the whole food diet where I ate nothing but meat, vegetables, and fruit. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say carnivore, I'm not always 100% on carnivore. I would say for about 5 days a week, I do carnivore. And what is a carnivore diet? The carnivore diet is you eat nothing but meat and animal-based products. So like meat, eggs, you use grass-fed butter to cook your food, stuff like that, right? If you don't know a whole lot about the carnivore diet, I don't want to dive too deep into each of these diets. If you don't know a whole lot about it, you can look it up after this video and see what the carnivore diet is. But that is what I do about 85 to 90% of the time, about 5 days a week. What about those other 2 days? Occasionally, I will throw in some fruit and some vegetables. And the reason why is because if I add a little bit of fruit to it the day before or the day of, early on in the day before I go and do a really intense workout, that fruit really helps me a lot. and it helps me a lot with energy, right? And and then I do like eating like pickles and stuff like that, and some vegetables occasionally, but I don't eat it every day. Typically I do like Monday through Friday I'll do carnivore, and then on the weekend I'll throw in a treat and eat like fruit or vegetables or whatever. And that's what I do on the road. When I go home, I will break my diet. I'm not gonna lie, I do. When I'm home, like if my son wants to go get ice cream, I will have that once in a blue moon, but it's only when I'm off the road. When I'm on the road, I am 100% strict on my diet. So what do? 90% of the time I'm doing carnivore. And then, I throw in a couple days of the week where I add some fruit, vegetables, and then that's what I do. But I don't eat any processed food. What do I drink? All I drink is water and black coffee. That is what I drink. I don't drink anything else. Water, black coffee. I do not drink alcohol at all. Even when I'm off, I don't drink alcohol. And so that's it. Water, coffee, carnivore diet 90% of the time, and a little bit of fruit and vegetables here and there, a couple times a week. And that's my diet while I'm out here on the road. And when I'm home, I don't indulge in stuff like I just said, but I'm very disciplined when it comes to the dieting and exercise stuff. I really am. It's just because I'm used to it though. Like I said, before I got into trucking, I was used to working out all the time, like 5-6 days a week, and eating right and all that. And I wanted to carry that over. I'm that type of person where I have to work out and I have to eat healthy. Otherwise, I feel out of whack, and I don't feel like myself. And I don't like that feeling of being low energy and brain fog and all that. Now, for those of you who are going to say, well, I can't do carnivore, I got to have my vegetables, I got to have my fruit, and that's okay. You can just do a well-rounded whole food diet where you eat meat, vegetables, and fruit and stuff like that. You just have to cut out the carbs, really. The high carbohydrate foods, you need to cut those out. If you're wanting to drop weight, you definitely need to cut that out. You need to cut out refined sugar, and really even limit your fruit intake, because fruit is still sugar at the end of the day. It's not as bad as refined sugar, like eating an apple versus eating cake. It's not the same thing, of course, but eating too much fruit is still sugar, and you can actually keep the weight on and add weight by eating too much fruit. So you do want to limit your intake on that. But I would say if you just stick to the meat, vegetables, fruit, and then you exercise regularly, like I just said, you will definitely do very well, 100%. Another diet, I think the diet of keto, the true keto diet, I think is a really good diet as well. And that's pretty much just meat, vegetables, and I think you can eat like berries and stuff like that. But real keto, not keto where you're eating all the processed junk that they make. No, true keto where you're eating whole foods and real keto, okay? Some people think that they're doing keto and they're eating these cookies and cakes and all this crap that they make. That is processed junk. That stuff is every bit as bad for you as the other processed junk that's out there. So moral of the story, cut out all processed foods, eat nothing but whole foods, or get on a very strict diet like carnivore or keto, and exercise regularly. And as far as drinks go, I would recommend like water, black coffee, tea, stuff like that, tea without sugar. Cut out all sugary drinks. I hate to say it, cut out alcohol, because alcohol is very bad for you. It puts on a lot of weight, 100%, and a lot of alcohol metabolizes into sugar and puts on a lot of weight on you, and causes a lot of inflammation as well. When you're eating processed foods and refined sugar and drinking alcohol all the time, that's creating a lot of inflammation in your body. And when you have a lot of inflammation in your body, it'll make you look a lot heavier than you actually would be if you cut that out. So you will reduce a lot of weight if you just cut out the stuff I'm talking about. And so yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm not going to go deep into keto or carnivore or, whole food diet, and really dive deep into that. You get the point. Research keto. A great YouTube channel that I absolutely love is Dr. Ken Berry. He talks about keto and carnivore. If you want to learn a lot about carnivore and keto, go watch his channel, Ken Berry. Maybe I'll put that in the link to his channel in this description below. 100%. Now, when it comes to exercise and stuff like that, I do know about that. I played hockey at a pretty high level, and so training and stuff like that is my forte. I'm very good at doing that. I know how to exercise properly and train. Now the dieting, I'm like everybody else, man. I love ice cream, I love pizza, I love all of those foods that we all know and love. I do. But if I ate that all the time, if I ate a bunch of carbs, bread, rice, pasta, sugary foods and all that, if I did that all the time, man, I'd be twice as big as I am now. And, I just don't want to do that. And I wouldn't feel good. I would have brain fog and tons of inflammation, and I'd be sick all the time, and I just wouldn't feel good. So moral of the story, how do you keep up with your health while you're out here on the road? Just like the financial stuff I talk about, you got to have a plan. What's your plan for how you're going to eat? And how do you do that? Look, go to the store, pull into a Walmart once a week and load up on groceries. And then buy a hot plate or a George Foreman grill so you can cook meat and vegetables and all that. Cook in your truck. Do not buy any of the junk at the truck stops. Do not buy that stuff. And unless it's like fruit or vegetables that they have. But for the most part, don't buy the junk. And it's way more expensive to buy stuff from a Pilot or a TA or a Love's. It's way more expensive to do that. So why do that? You can pull into a Walmart and eat really good in your truck and healthy, and save a lot of money on top of that. Also buy yourself a portable freezer so you can freeze meats and vegetables and stuff like that. And that'll save you a lot of money as well, because you can buy in bulk and you can load up on it, and you can reduce actually the amount of times you have to stop and go to the store, right? And most trucking companies provide you with a truck with a fridge in it that has a little freezer. I have that in my truck. Plus I have a portable freezer that I add extras into. And again, that helps a lot with saving money, staying on my diet. And without that, man, I honestly couldn't survive out here without that. Without cooking in my truck, man, I could not imagine having to eat the junk that is sold in these truck stops. And we can be mad about what they sell in the truck stops, but that's what drivers are buying. That's that supply demand. They keep selling that stuff because it's what y'all eat, And so if you're watching this video and you want to change your health around, it's very simple. Everything I'm talking about in this video is not rocket science. It's just discipline at the end of the day. And it is very hard to stay disciplined, me included, man. It's hard for me to stay disciplined. Sometimes I get tempted by that stuff, but you just have to stay focused. And again, you have to have a plan, all right? What's your plan for exercising regularly? 2, what diet are you going to do? What diet are you going to do? You need to explore the different healthy diets out there. Me personally, I think the 2 best diets are carnivore is the absolute best one you can do. It's the most extreme, but it's the best over the long run. Or keto, true keto, excluding all the processed junk that they sell. That they call it keto, but it's really not. Look up, like I said, Ken Berry, that's his channel. You need to go watch him if you want to learn about that. But that's pretty much it for the health, guys. That's what I do. That's what you can do. Don't spend any money at truck stops. Buy your food at Walmart. Have a plan to work out. Get a cheap gym membership and cook in your truck. It's that simple. That's my video for today. This is how you end the epidemic of obesity and a health crisis that's in the trucking industry. And it is. There is a health crisis going on in the United States for truckers and all Americans. But here's the thing. I'm going to end with this. Here's the thing. If you ate bad and didn't exercise regularly before trucking, getting into a truck full time is only going to accelerate your bad habits. It's only going to show up faster and worse. That's all that's going to do. It's going to amplify the problem. Most people before trucking didn't eat healthy and didn't exercise. Most people didn't. And so when they got into trucking, they blew up even faster because we are sitting for 9 to 10 hours a day just driving. And if you're just sitting there eating junk and high calorie foods and consuming high calorie drinks all the time, you are going to put on weight super fast. You are going to get unhealthy super fast. Don't let that be you if you're watching this video. So that's it for the video. Stay tuned for more content like this in the future. God bless. I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching, and peace out.